What you see behind me here is the Volkswagen ID.3. Now it's just been launched in Ireland. I'm in Weston Aerodrome today and they don't have a physical car here for me to drive, but it's the same one we've seen in Frankfurt, so if you want to watch that video, that's up on top as well. But some interesting information coming from the managing director of Volkswagen. They want to save the world essentially, and not just save the world but save the environment, and they have a lot of work to do. So this is the first of a range of cars that are going to come from Volkswagen that are going to be all electric. Where that leaves all the rest of the stuff they do already, where that leaves the Golf, because they talked about the Volkswagen Golf has democratized mobility for the masses, and that the ID range is going to do the same thing. Now, where that leaves the Golf in the future, I'm not too sure whether they're going to make the electric version of that or not. I don't know. But anyway, let's have a quick look around the inside of the Volkswagen ID.3 while I'm here. I'm also going to submit some information today on different modules. So those modules are going to be about financing, which is quite interesting because Volkswagen have their own bank and their own financing system, and they come up with a new solution for financing or leasing the car for yourself. Also going to talk about pre-orders, what happens when you pre-order one of these cars. We're going to talk about how to charge them at home and what they're going to do with their home charging unit, and over here is about the product itself. So I'm going to find out all about that. So stick with me to the end and make sure you hit the subscribe button, right? Let's have a look around this car first. Right, unlike Frankfurt, I'm not in a complete bun fight trying to get near, but it is kind of dark in here. First thing I remark on is the quality of the materials used are very high. This is the premium spec version of the car, so other specs may apply. I like the way this is tilted towards me here on this side. Obviously that would change if I had to sit on that side, but the quality of this first edition one is absolutely outstanding. Seating position, I actually have armrests, look, individual armrests like out of the California, which is quite nice as well. So the infotainment system is quite an interesting thing to look at. It's a complete departure from the normal Volkswagen infotainment system, and this one actually works as well, which is pretty cool. It's pretty hard to work out though. Hang on a second, if we go to, where's the menu gone? I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do this. Aha, there we go. Red button here on the side. You can tell things like how many seatbelts are closed. Here's the infotainment music that's up here as well. Very nice. Digital dash, totally digital dash, give me 350 kilometers range, which is lovely as well. Just a really classy interior, I have to say. This is the first edition, like I say. Some editions will be different, but this is a very classy interior. Excuse the lighting for a minute. I just went through the Volkswagen financial package a second ago, what they're going to be offering on a new ID.3. A couple of unique packages as well. Now, they summed up that it's cheaper to buy and own an ID.3 than it is a 1 litre Volkswagen Golf. A little bit of muddying of the numbers there, using night race for the charge, and breaking down the servicing costs over 12 months, but not saying what's in the servicing cost, whether that includes tyres or includes any other sort of major components in the car. That said, electric cars are definitely going to be cheaper to run. It's different to see these financial packages that are now being structured around electric cars, with Volkswagen offering a new one where there possibly is a very low or absolutely no deposit at all, 3 years PCP, and then a balloon payment at the end of 50% of the value of the car. That's a little bit unusual and kind of puts the ball back in your court again. Again, read the terms and conditions, for sure. So sorry about the music and everything. I'm in Weston Airport and I can do nothing at all about the background sound. So let's go through a few details. ID.3 this year. It's going to be 40 grand starting out. The 40 grand is for the entry-level model of it. Now that's including the subsidy from the government, so it actually starts at 50 grand, so 5 grand from SCAI, 5 grand from VRT rebate. 45 for mid-spec one, and then 50 grand for the top-spec one. Top-spec, this one, 20-inch alloy wheels, panoramic roof, Beats audio sound system, augmented reality heads-up display, and comfort seats with massage function all in there as well. So ID.3 will have its own finance package. That finance package will have a much lower deposit level, or possibly no deposit, depending on financial circumstance. 3 years of payments, and then 50% of the value of the car to get out again. So in 3 years' time, you just hand the keys back as you would with a PCP plan, or you can refinance the 50% and pay off the difference and keep the car, or you can trade it in, and continue a PCP on another car after you paid off the finance package with that. That was the ID.3 plan was actually interesting. He did pick out a thing that said it was going to be €409 per month for 36 payments, and that's based upon a 10% deposit. Now this starts out as a 40 grand car, okay, so 10% deposit is not a small deposit. Also interesting slide they put up was the actual price of a ID.3 versus a Volkswagen Golf over its lifespan, its cost. They're talking about saving thousands per month, or thousands per year, sorry. The actual saving was, annual savings of €1,632 per year. That's based upon night rate meters and things as well, so a bit to go with that. So the finance package, they've thought of that. Again, that's another system that they thought of doing for themselves. They're not going to wait for someone else to do it. They're not trying to launch a car in the market, hope the Bank of Ireland is going to sort it out for them. Volkswagen Bank is going to sort this out for you. It does give me a lot of confidence that Volkswagen is really thinking about the consumer and how they behave and how they buy and purchase cars in this country. And that's very important. Okay, so a word on pre-bookers. You people who come forward, and there are 400 of you in Ireland who have pre-booked the ID.3 sight unseen. Okay, that's a high number in comparison to Europe. Not number overall, but percentage of ICE purchase engines or percentage of car sales in general. Pre-bookers, you'll have an order window, and you'll be able to change your pre-booking, which is a €1,000 deposit, fully refundable and instantaneously refundable if you change your mind. But from March to April and this year, you can do your first purchase of the actual car. So you can put your deposit down during that window. You are the only ones allowed during that window to order the pre-bookers. You can also order a special edition version of the car as well, which comes with some visual differences and some play and pause pedals and things on the inside. You will be driving the car by summer 2020, okay, this coming summer. So you'll be already there. So if you change your pre-booking to an order by summer 2020, be it. If you're not pre-booking, you will not see this car on your driveway till 2021. I'll tell you now, it's going to be sold out. I guarantee it'll be sold out. So if you're interested, put your order down. It's €1,000, fully refundable, instantaneous refundable if you change your mind. It refunds anyway, it's not off the purchase price of the car. Charging was the last station we did over here, and charging is going to be done by a thing called WeCharge, which is an app from Volkswagen. Volkswagen is actually intention to sell you electricity at some point through a company called Elli, E-L-L-I. They've bought a subsidiary company called Elli. Elli's looking at renewable energy only. Elli will buy in the energy and sell it to the home user of Volkswagen customers. Also in this, WeCharge is going to replace your ESB network card or any card, and you'll be able to open basically any charger in the country with your app on your phone called WeCharge, and it'll be charged to your bill at home instantaneously. So all charging anywhere will be done at a special Volkswagen rate for you as a Volkswagen customer. That's probably the most interesting factor to come out of today. New piece of information. They will also be selling their own brand of charger, which is actually a standard enough 7.4 kilowatt charger you get at home, but it'll be Volkswagen branded, of course. It's a generic one. It's across the Volkswagen range. It's going to be an interesting future to that part, because they'll be able to use companies like Ionity, ESB, Volkswagen themselves, and EasyGo.ie, which are already on board for the public charging network. Plus, you'll be able to charge at Volkswagen dealerships. Their dealership network now are currently installing 22 kilowatt chargers and 7.4 kilowatt chargers in their network. But they're also installing possibly fast chargers will go with that as well, which would be interesting. Sorry, I'm reading off my phone, bits and pieces I've picked up along the way. Okay, so for the first, the ID.3 first, if you buy the first edition, the one behind me, you will get 1 year or 2,000 kilowatt hours of free public charging. That's interesting. That's actually basically a year's worth of electricity for free, now depending on how you use them, of course. It's equivalent to approximately 12,000 kilometers of this ID.3, and you can redeem it on any network again. So again, basically nearly a year of charging for free when it comes to ID.3. To kind of sum it up, I do feel confident that Volkswagen is pushing ahead in the right direction for the consumer, not just to try and sell some cars. They're really thinking about the whole picture here. Even though the car still seems kind of expensive to me, I'd be very confident you're going to get that back out of Volkswagen the other end. Volkswagens hold their value very, very well over time. And at the same time, I think Volkswagen is pushing for the consumer side. They're really trying to do something different by getting an energy company on board, by figuring out how to do the charging as well, by running it through their dealer network that already exists instead of trying to invent a brand new dealer network. I really do think they're at the game here, and they're going to march over the top of the electric car industry. If you're looking to buy an electric car, please bear it in mind, stick a deposit down on Volkswagen. It's €1,000, it's fully refundable, and if I'm wrong and the gamble doesn't pay off for you, I'd say you just get your €1,000 back fairly handy. I really do think ID.3 and the Volkswagen ID range is going to bring something totally different to the market in Ireland right now, and it's going to happen before next summer. So really, Where do I think it's going to go? I think this is the future and there's no way back. Anyway, hopefully you've learned all you need to know about the Volkswagen ID.3 coming to Ireland and its network capabilities. If you have more questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Hopefully you'll be able to check out also in my own comments on there the ways of supporting this channel, as it's not free to run this channel and to turn up to these things. And hopefully you'll be able to help me out with that one as well. But even if you can't, hit the subscribe button. Until the next time, I will see you on the far side. I wouldn't mind the drive of it all the same, you know, I really would. I'd be bagging out here.